Welcome back to another episode of Clothing Brief. Today we are joined by our very special guest, Poe, our most important correspondent out there in the fashion scene. Actually, today it's just gonna be us. It's just gonna be us talking. But here we are once again, bringing you the highlights of what has been happening in the last week in our industry. Many people know this first story that's up. Anna Wintour, of course, has announced that she is stepping aside
37 years.
at Vogue.
Yeah.
This is big news.
Everything must evolve. And so even Anna
Yeah.
Wintour, she's still staying on as chief content officer at Condé Nast.
Yes.
But
And editorial director at
yeah,
Vogue. So she's still going to have her hands in
yeah,
things. You know, this is definitely not a retirement, but it's more a evolution in her career. You know, this is a woman who is definitely a leader in our space and completely driven. So
yeah.
I would not expect her to just step aside and go lay on a beach somewhere.
And it'll be interesting. No successor's been named.
Not yet.
That's going to be need to be a hell of a resume to take her place for sure.
Absolutely. There's no formal announcement as to when all of the shifts going to take place, but we're going to be watching it closely, and we'll see. I'm excited to see what this means for the magazine as far as an evolution, maybe a little bit of a refresh of perspective. So we'll see.
Yep.
Yeah, what
Big
happens.
changes.
Another magazine is announcing a big transition, Glassy Magazine. This is another resource for expertise in our space. And the CEO, Kyle
Leahy, she's been there about
is
3 years.
ready to step down. And she's done great things in the small
Yeah.
amount of time that she's been there.
Yeah.
They feel that the company is now in really healthy space. And so it's time.
Yeah, and so she's also looking for her predecessor too. So for those that are looking to take over gargantuan roles in the media world, there's 2 openings now.
That's right. So this is now becoming a job resource site as well as a podcast for getting the latest news,
Yeah.
right? Who's hiring out there?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Well, let's see. The last week we've had Fashion Week going on in Paris, and it has been pretty exciting to watch. We had our own correspondent over there grabbing footage of some of the amazing things happening on the scene, Mary Rupert Strasku. And there's been quite a few rumbles of excitement, one of which is just the celebrity sightings.
And there's always celebrities at Paris Fashion Week. That's a big to do. But, we're seeing the evolution, with bringing culture more, the more modern culture, trying to attract the next gen. Pharrell at Louis Vuitton had all sorts of big glitzy stars show up. We had Beyonce and Jay-Z and Jackson Wang and a bunch of people that really turned out for that one. That's not unexpected.
Right.
But, shifting the Louis Vuitton landscape, what Pharrell's done for that and really kind of re-energize that for the next generation is really exciting.
Well, we've been talking about some of the struggles the luxury market has seen, and I think they're taking a cue right now off of a marketing trend that we're seeing. You saw it at the Super Bowl. All of these companies, their answer to a great ad was bringing in a celebrity that excites people, and so I think that we're kind of seeing the same play here.
Yeah, the influencer redo or the influencer evolution. You've got celebrities that have always, helped support brands, but just continuing. And I think key selecting certain celebrities that are creating an entree into the next generation are going to be, really important.
A show that everybody was excited to see was Jonathan Anderson. His influence at Dior.
Yeah.
And so everybody was eagerly awaiting what is going to happen here. This is the first time we've had a designer head up both men's and women's simultaneously. And of course, the brand seeing evolution, what's that going to look like? And overall, the reception's been very excited.
Yeah, it was all about storytelling. It was really about, more style than design. They felt it was kind of risk less, but charged with real freshness. There was some really pretty crazy things on that.
I think it was, I mean, for a second you have to get your head around it,
Yeah.
right? Because there are some surprising blends of concepts. They're calling this kind of grunge aristocracy. So, you're seeing the blend of the English countryside with couture. So really almost oversized avant-garde kind of concepts with this very proper blend. So
Yeah.
I think it was pretty
Some
cool,
interesting
and
cargo pants in that
you could store a lot
show.
in those cargo
Yeah.
pants.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, last up on our list, in our conversations about sustainability and initiatives that are happening worldwide to help support those conversations and do better by our world, Chile is stepping in.
Wow. They have been one of the top three largest importers for apparel into their country. Basically, they take in 123,000 tons of waste apparel product. It
Mm,
ending up in the high altitude desert, Atacama Desert, and it's becoming mountains and
mountains.
mountains. And so we've
Yeah.
talked about the challenges of these kind of apparel dumping sites for a long time. And so Chile has really sat down and said, look, we've got to end this.
Hmm.
We've got to put apparel companies more responsible for this end of life management. And it is now important to figure this out.
Hmm.
This stuff pollutes, it accumulates, doesn't go away. We've talked about synthetics with 300 years to 500 years in a landfill. And so they're really, really working on it. Textiles are obviously a top category for them to solve because,
Hmm.
it was a interesting income stream, but now they see the challenge.
Right. And so now key importers are going to have to report their volumes.
Yep.
There's more focused on reuse, repair, and recycling programs. As you mentioned, they want to eradicate these illegal dumps and really promote more of a circular textile economy. So some good things. No more burning of textiles and things that have been happening that provide challenge. So those are all some exciting highlights in this last week. Uh, as always, we have our longer form podcast available on all platforms. So if you're interested in getting a little bit deeper into the conversations, don't forget to subscribe to that. We have a great conversation coming out with the CEO of Syrup, an incredible technology using AI that helps to reduce waste with regards to overbuying and helps to foster better revenue opportunities with brands to promote buying, making smart buying decisions. So take a listen to that episode when that comes out next week. And do not forget to subscribe to stay apprised of upcoming episodes. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.